different. There was something different. There was something different.
They've come to elude your brain into thinking one conclusion. They've come to elude your brain into thinking one conclusion. You're confused and all that confusion. They've come to elude your brain into thinking one conclusion. You're confused and all that confusion. They've come to elude your brain into thinking one conclusion.
There was something different. There was something different. Something different. Talk to the mind to bring you around. Talk to the mind to bring you around. Talk to the mind to bring you around. There was something different. Talk to the mind to bring you around. Talk to the mind to bring you around. Talk to the mind to bring you around. There was something different. Talk to the mind to bring you around. Talk to the mind to bring you around. Talk to the mind to bring you around.
Come to bring your brain into thinking one conclusion.
There was something different.
Shazbot. Savilion.
Toad.
Might have missed it.
No lyric, no lyric.
Too many mistakes are mistaken for negative actions, minds are vacant. Complaining about the number of useless breaths that you have taken. Inhale the beautiful oxygen that fuels the primitive box you're in. I feel the serious state of mind, but hate the negative thoughts of sin. Your limited source of intellect reflects the way you live your life. Forget about all the things you said and concentrate on doing right. You have nothing to prove yourself or enter to define your thought. You steadily damage the pentagram. The digital world will not be taught. Eventually everything will stop. The cycle of life will fail us. The reason for living will not continue, and the systems will derail. Submitting the proper amount at the end to make yourself count. The evident plan to devastate man is what it's already about. Taking it all into consideration and never regretting a single move. Using the mind to generate energy, theories and laws they try to prove to make us obsolete and single us out from every crowd. The general object of the game is to make us all remain the same. Assimilate people to bleed, to develop a way to succeed. The world revolves around the source of everyone's simple needs. The mastery of manipulation attacks the people of all ages to define what they like and regulate who gets the wages. The tentative alias is bruised to escape and save the abused. To center the attention on the problem, the relative flaw was never used. A feeling of anger resolves, a positive way to dissolve emotions battle each other constantly and sever the ties. Recall the promise of individuals to save each other's lives. Defies the reason for individuals to tell each other lies. To tell each other lies.
Mocking human behavior is a specialty, but in my eyes I'm still surprised that I can't find the remedy. Extremities lead me to believing chemistry is my enemy, embellishing all I can before I wave goodbye to my shadow and into the last hours of darkness. Anarchists run rampant on the melting tarpet, while the dream of flying carpets, animals who soar above with wings. When will you feel the sting of the singing things, lurking in the far depths of the sack of bother rings, as I hold on to what I know will be the final hand. It blinds me needed to the primal land where I take my final stand and spontaneously combust. What is this justice? Is just the muscles dust and clutter as I search for my family, long lost friends, but is only accomplished as a mutter. When will they come back? So I can react to the negativities and questioning. I'm investigating everything cause we push so hard and move so helplessly, and afterwards the world remain is just jealousy. Strive harder to work better than each other so we can smother ourselves with materials and self-indulgence. Fuck! Fuck!
A human race that's faceless, houses that we grow in rename nameless and unexplainable choices. Philosophical assertions keeps us exchanging our mysterious fuel and energy with unbelievable punishment like being buried underground and suspended by a slab of concrete. Cross-legged adventures become disillusional as they are created in an article. Don't pretend it is your soul that they're trying to defeat. Inescapable sleeping bag pajamas where these little mental poison organisms crawl into our skin and reproduce, tying our legs into a noose. We can't walk anymore because of you. Denounce the greed. The world walks on me and I rotate around the sun because the new revolutions have, in a way, begun. I hope they're silent so I can get some sleep and allow that which grows inside me to find the antique pen that writes for my allergy to seafood. Go to the store and convince yourself that you want the object. You look at the object. Decide to purchase the item. Then you regret that you fueled the economy because you can't take it with you post-mortem. Only when I understand animal communication and psychology I'll be satisfied. But oh no, look, here comes absurdity. Skin the bark off the trees and go build a campfire so you and your comrades can build a character. My genius cat is modest. The thing you're responsible for involves the roots that are honest. You take this and promise, not realizing that anxiety is the only constant. I look at my fingers and they pick up objects.
Always prohibited, unlimited tracks when we kicking and smoking stimulus. To try to relax, rehabilitation when we looking out to the sounds of life. But I can't hear it cause the whole world's got fucking kites. The ozone layer disintegrating miles around. Where Air Canada spit shit in the air that's fucking brown. Pissing me off with they business suit and French tie. Benefits not the populist tax reply. I'm near the creek and I'm guessing closer to the famine. It's just the brown shit that my ancestors once swam in salmon fish. Is now overflowed, but now the creek is left in nuclear overload. I can see your kids rocking long monitors, eating attitudes, a cancerous carnivore. Elbow chips and alarm systems in stores. So I turn your cletus and I'll have to say no more.
Green mitts, purple toad. Fed up
It was a fiendish
with the
word.
humans.
It was a fiendish word.
Green mitts, purple toad. Fed up with the humans. Nobody would listen to me, so I started to draw my brain and pen and ink. And what came out was an abstract, intact picture of what I think. What I transformed myself into was a double-minded ass, an alien. My friends were the color purple and everyone else looked like elves. This world isn't yours? Aren't you acting a little selfish? Without my donated intelligence, your civilization would be helpless. You have all given nothing to my hidden dimension. Oh, gather as much as you can, return nothing. Was that the intention? I think it's time to begin my new plot to settle in and have my purple plastic paws produce anti-gravity rods to make you look like frogs on log. I've had it up to here with the human race and mankind itself. You people are uncaring and oblivious to your health. All the medicines you use will eventually become viruses, and I won't have to do my thing with my friends to bring you your end. Me and Purple expanded our knowledge, but you gave no gratitude in return, and now we yearn to learn about how we can use your planet to understand it. Imaginations mean nothing to us unless they're vividly explicit. Of course, lobotomized patients definitely remain unlisted. Left in the back room to be kept for emergencies until we use up the elite and enter a state of urgency. I'm not lying when I say this, so prepare to greet your resident masters, or else we'll have to liquefy your states with energy blasters. Little lasers.
I'm the wave of the future, forget computers and all lab confusions. I've come to elude your brain into thinking one conclusion. Through massive proportions I will extort all the minorities, exchange it for majorities, and take over accordingly. Preparing the device to kill all flowers will take 3 hours. Gathering power from telephone booths, wires, and distant towers. My point is, guess you just seclude them. The best resting point is where I dwell, but hell, I have no particular direction. Blessed with my lifelong reflection, but do I live it? I'm limited to things like 3 feet and hands and acting timid. My shallow view of crystal clean air is now very vivid. My metamorphical advantages allow me to run rampant like a rhinoceros, stampeding through the town, knocking everything down. To build my own successful origami of massive armies. No one can harm me above the law and reside to make everyone live in harmony. But that will never happen, strapping fuel upon my air device to make my overview of human systems seem like meant to mice. I am a purple-headed alien, but far from clone technological advances, and I've had it up to here with candid actions. So speak what you will, recognize the drill against your will, and everything we stand for will now be taken, because of the fate of the world seems to rest on the minds of those who are vacant within themselves.
We have a higher status than your lousy earth apparatus. This is nothing to joke about. We invented the app because your mathematics are fabulous. The mathematics are fabulous. We have a higher status than your lousy earth apparatus. This is nothing to joke about. We invented the app because your mathematics are fabulous. Your mathematics are fabulous.
As soon as my ship landed on this planet, I knew I'd be stranded unless I took appropriate measures and action until I was satisfied. I knew I'd have to hide in some sort of isolated, unpopulated landmark and only show my presence after dark, the beginning of my plan. First I'll plant poles to alter the gravitational pull. Then I'll locate a surface in an area that seems dull. After that I'll place a steering wheel in it, so the earth is now my car. But with the weight of all these humans, I know the planet won't go far. But when I reach my destination, I'll organize a gathering to make my statements. And it goes, quote,
Listen here, people. Statement is ready. Okay. The odd colored life forms have traveled to meet your lonely dwelling, and while here we notice nothing extraordinary or compelling, because we have seen it all before. In actuality, we gave it all to you. Yet so easily create a place of stupidity and chaos. Remember your old geniuses, Egyptians and Mayans, they obeyed us with pleasure like those things you call circus lines. We taught them mathematical formulas and geometric laws to follow, but ignorance reigned and they were taken over. In other words, swallowed. If only you let them produce a cultural advancement and higher learning, you would have been up to the level of us and wouldn't be destined to magma burning. That's enough for now. I'll leave it up to you to finish it. You better smarten up your planet before it begin to diminish it. Unquote.
we have a higher status than your lousy earth apparatus. This is nothing to joke about. We invented the app because your mathematics are fabulous.
Your mathematics are
Fabulous. We have a higher status than your lousy earth apparatus. This is nothing to joke about. We invented the abacus. Your mathematics are fabulous.
Your mathematics are
Fabulous.
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 It was a fiendish world. Savilion. Number 38 Creaturebox. You know what I'm saying?
Listen to the sound of your brain. Vision, yes, it's popping like cash money shopping for penny hoes. I'm landing those without a conscience. Having trouble being honest. Run late minds plus the decisions are thoughtless. Be cautious because I'm speeding it. Well, the rest of you cats are monotone like if you was reading hymns. Depleted limbs like leprosy. Defeated chins like Jeopardy. So don't question me and my expertise. Running around gassed up like extra cheese. So MCs to the front line cause I roll with one kind that frequency me's like one time and showing thanks to the sunshine. Because that snow makes me depressed. The adrenaline is running through my veins. The same creation of the creature box and the innovation of its brain.
I walked all the way to a planet where I wasn't invited. Nobody told me where I was. I just got there
Somehow.
with my eyes closed. It went like this. Unmistakable synthetic material to one's individual comes automatically to cause static invasion, development cases. It's all a piece of the process project projecting, correcting man's mishaps with infecting the meaning of sentimentality when it's a mentality of fallacy. Actually remembering what happens to me well with the witch. I know with the witches it's only hell I envision. Exact position, check my position on the map. In this uncollectible edible pedestal, you collect the world to the generation of the vegetable room in the world, clinical habitual, ritual, spirituals, individual. Bring a lot of the later in play. Soon the consumable have a nice day. Soon you will pay and learn the proper adjustment. Really awfully, rearranging, speaking the amazing adjacent occurrences which will never happen. The back end I just keep flashing. I'm talking across the vortex. I'm more than a word I think cause I blink. And therefore I see, and therefore I am.
Residential rolling bento talking on your phone. Most miss the mic after you ship your hype back home. I'm the intelligent relevant life form that breaks off beats to the high moan. And if you wanna get in the green room, I suggest you use a T2 motion stakes pound pattern form. I don't release astounded norms. There is a way your patterns form. My mineral way, my metaverse form. My federal way is general. So roast away and eat my genitals. Incredible, indictable, edible, legible wordplay. Birthday, better seen on Thursday. Mermaid, flow by a hope I lock my locker to the stress. Locker, imposter, fly by in helicopter. Robots to get out. Moving about, stuttering, fettering, ring the skies. My teeth are chattering better than the bones that I'm knocking.
Abbreviations called musical patience, musical scholars to holler for help because it's mating season and I'm charged with treason. I'm trapped in a closet with absence of dollars from my wallet, no absence of corona. Though I'm a fucking alcoholic and a chronic, I'm nauseous of diabolic ways to life. Furthermore, I'm cautious due to how many times they've had to try. Madness implied, I need to travel back in time before the sadness arrives. All I need is one more chance to change and make it right. Hopefully my reception in the past will be well received because the state of the present tense is not one that pleases me. This expression of obsession and confession is just a lesson on how a session is capable of emotional compression. Fucking stressing, I feel a fraction of some action to question the contraction within my brain cause I think it's growing again. Scriptures are read aloud, liquor is taken down and figurative figures tell me that I need another picture. My caress is corroded, my finesse has exploded. I can't find the purpose, never mind the medicine to mentally reload it.
To define what it all means to be pleased and move with ease whenever the clever get better, but no weather is woven and sweating, covering crafty minded, leaving a morsel of every thought they take, slicing off the islands and forcing them to buy every product they make, never reducing it to the thought, and no one's abusing the powerful plot, damaging secret minds they rob because of the adequate things they bought. By the ones that break it in the end, it makes a hell of a difference, but the emptiness of your wallet can't be blamed on me. I called it. Stuttering as your muttering becomes evident and you lose your mind. Time and time again, told you to take what you have left behind, and to get past the point and never admitting the truth to followers. Fitness as the wares and wise and utilize anything but the hollow words, collecting observations, transforming energy into patience, disrupting the accidental mindset, corrupting the slavish patient. Your betters and boards will never survive as creatures' eyes will open wide, detecting ways to advertise, remembering every single lie. Remembering every single lie.
until my dreams become reality. And I see the propaganda's laughing at me. Actually, subtraction, the casualties sure only matter to me. And the ladder I climb in a matter of time. I choose to rhyme unconditionally. Traditionally wishing to be the one to slap out the bitch in me, but never pondering on how to do it. Everyone else is the one with the golden luck, I knew it. But we will still all be the witnesses when the truth hits. The intellectual planet is taken off, so make yourself present. Cough, last pay, regret, place bets, pay your debts. Make sure your bedhead is hair, find your underwear. Make sure your gray matter's there, be sure the persistence is fair. Obey the law, be positive that your prerogative is proportionally derogative, and fate will be prosperous.
The city is the extension of the human body, an arrangement of architectural harmony. But somehow feeling distant from originality, a part of me is experiencing a lobotomy. I scream out, there's nothing we can do about it. Distorting myself in a difference of passivity, I happily accept my displacement in this question mark society, adopting a pet monkey. I continue to walk, I'm certain that my legs are being transformed into rockets. The optimist behavior leaves me wanting to explore more of this green energy ball. My eyes are being ripped out of their sockets. My bipedal tools are slowly turning more and more into metal weapons, not knowing that with each continuous step I'm crushing whatever hope there's left for humans to reach the heavens. But for some reason I move on. I perceive this to be prosperous. With that thought in mind, my arms become armors. Then it continues all through the rest of my carcass, eventually leading to my thought machine brain type anonymous.
Corner max distortion, the proportion of corrugated filters anonymous and proper, the dropping the populace, the incubus is incubated in another detention. I mention I shank MCs with redemption, attention to break out, moving the forces stronger than horses, then I'll make my way out. The Ovaltine, the flow and scream, the mold and beam, the nova green, the obvious hobby novelties. The sky is white, but my eyes are brown, the ties are down. So help me the hell out down, but sell short my shoelaces and stop hatred of new places. Discover untouched formats. It's like walking on someone and welcome with a doormat. So help me home. I melt down, the belts down. My own journey when I was 30 served me with futuristic stylistics.
Happily meditate on over all of us and break the wall of symbiotic holocaust and decide on deciphering of the abandon and who to trust. Like a ludicrous statement stated by the masses and platants, and all the population under one trap will eventually burn down. What's that sound is the unseen and put together pieces of the underground being smoldered by molten lava rock. The everlasting all for carbon never cease to see. Increase the power by the hour, but we rise to run to the safest places. So all too need to be rude, but stay the fuck out of my way. What an awful day to stay reality's maze and attempt to quote the unsaid, but instead I'll drink my soberness away. An unbearable stench has stained the socks of society, and mine were removed a long time ago, therefore I refuse to participate. Yet I anticipate the waking moment of the proper movement, recruiting unions and gaining experience as I become one with the rear and as I get cocooned into this world.
Landed on planet the cold, smash when I leave and corrode. I've been sentenced to a galaxy, balance me. Step into my world of desperation. Unhung gases leaking, pouring death. mind, drinking my plasma, wondering why. Push to imply mind control, equal the day that we die. Caught with the serpent evil, yes, the merchant.
Crippled and left to wonder whether it was them who caused the problems. Opening eyes at night to notice the shadow of insect goblin. Cleverly sneaking by the light and readily passing on mystery. Steadily speaking to myself, the melody rewrites history. The melody rewrites history.
Insect goblin, burrowing through your mind. Like the shadow in the depths of the shadow.
Find the path to make it a reason, never too late to call it a treason. Hoping that I get caught in the evening, always a break, you better believe it. Most of the time I'm on my own, you hit in my rhyme, you win in the dome. The mark of the kind, the clear design, improving the mind, the look of beyond. The negative things that shut the eyes of emerald kings and come surprise. Incredible things can come from lies, embezzling rings is best disguised as government aided enterprise. You better be fully energized, or have a grip like tentacles, and hope an attempt to tantalize. We're riding on my testicles and tape complain to Mexico. And tell your boys you better know the answer to a freaking flow. The hoping that you speak it, yo, but keep it quiet with a teacher talks and moving everywhere involving in my creature box.
Insect goblin, burrowing through the center of your mind. Unpleasant edge in the nucleus of the
systems are wrecked. No kidding, the people aren't properly handling the packages of emotion delivered on time. The brains start gambling. Therefore, putting a limit on everything, singling out what gives momentum. The matter of money destroys the void to take a real incentive. Their pensions are rising, the markets are diving, and everyone's striving, and nothing's
survive, it wouldn't be so bad if you didn't decide to close your eyes. Surprise! The whole world is oblivious to the return of the Stone Age. While the technology broken ecology, no one identifies their own rage. This new stage of development shows how desperate people are, constantly meddling with nature and destroying ozone with cars. We all contribute greatly to the devastation of the world we just might need. Ready to back up everything quickly, taking on a new planet to spread the seed, traveling through holes in space to reach the galaxy of appeal. We only have to kill 1 million aliens to survive. Hey, what a steal! A brand new world where nothing compares to anything here. The robots are ready to seize the moment and embed themselves in your ear. I can hear them.
Here they come, beings that are not human that have found a permanent residence inside the outer lining of my cat's intestines. Forsaken, discombobulated robot abortion culture with the increase of its competition. Humans now are subconsciously forced to be molded into one gargantuan human mass equation. So efficient have these things become that instead of walking they do backflips just to go to the store. And when bored, they like to paint giant faces on human canvas of their ex-dictator who was a giant squid, but he's dead. Arms! These things, they help me do stuff. Oppose, reform your mass collective into whatever you want it to be. Then pretend you are this thing where anything goes. Nothing is subjective. Cry, be angry, laugh, biological determinism, construction of your interpretation, and then you'll be a person. Ugnuts have no brains. I don't know why I try to survive. How does a tree look outside of our contrite perception of the wiring inside your innate disposition of the way it is? Milk and meat have minds of their own. Swallow the mass, then digest it later, and later poo it out.
I live in a Commodore 64. My brain tells me that I don't like the damn, so drop up the brakes and set up the camp. Cramp cobalt. I'm smashing snowballs in Furnace Factory. Actually bad to beat. I'm drinking garbage juice, including homemade mixtures of roots. Willis, develop the one that won't wall up my whole final column. That's looking for them, so get the book on rail. No breaking and see who really shot. The skin is pink on my forehead, cause I stay 2 inches from the TV movie, you little weenie. Bad to the bone and I sit on the glass, don't butter in channels to satisfy my penis. Leave this heinous plan is committed to legitimate action. When I'm rummaging, you'll be plummeting. And make sure when I'm racing, man, damn it, you be muttering.
As I dance, taking sharply by the telemarket of the such a big consuming pure justice above us hovers the winners of others uncover the undercover brother in disguise, already coming to the conclusion of the theory which lies, knowing and confusing, showing and abusing awful reactions, unlawful attractions because of the absence of hard labor put down on paper. Later than later is better than never. Adjust the levels on the weather. Choose when you want to play to lose what you want to say, but who just takes the shoes lace? I finally tripped over myself and compromised my health. I bashed my head and lost my sanity, and now my brain has been replaced with a battery. Now I'm employed in a repetitive, regretless, repentless factory. Forceful action equals forceful thinking equals joyful drinking equals guess what? Nothing.
Solution is knowing what's wrong with us, destroying the populace, ignoring the righteous indelibles, unregrettable, rememberable memories of what I used to have that pleases me and teases and not awkwardly tied around my neck. Inspection is mandatory, nobody move, nobody breathe, everybody sees to it as if you're included on the list of regrets. So place your bets and promise everyone's a winner. Realize what's on your plate when it's time to sit down for dinner. The air is getting thinner and my lungs are getting tighter, but my views are brighter than the average person. I'm hurting to close the curtain on my surface, so trying to tell myself that I'm not worthless, but I know when I laugh in the mirror that it hurts less. I always wanted this to last instead of pass by in an instant to the finish line. I did the time and ripped the rhyme and be rid of the dime. Finally trying to see who my perfect idol would be, and in the time experience I realize that it's me.
Civilian, I see a trace of awareness. Bear this bare fist, raised in the air like a chair, live embarrassed. Compare this to the proper form. My pen will be levitating on paper in my dorm. I sit under the sun and try to design what I'm thinking of. My superhuman strength is on a mission and it's blinking cause we're caught up on this mission. And I'll make my way out, walking adjacent to the statement and I'll hit the brick house. I hold these animals cheap to hold my mind, I'm a freak. It's all the plastic you eat and everybody's in need. There's all these prototype products, antibiotic out of the hypnotics. So leaking out of my closet, I write a placement. And now I got it, plotting the information. Deadly schemes cast into my soul, to my dreams, my dreams, my dreams, dreams.
I reached the peak of insanity, realize nobody's mad at me except myself. My further views are conscious when I hit the wall of opportunity. Through further unity, you will see we speak purity fluently. Believing is the passion to see and bleeding as a negative. But trash is the last thing to begging, tracking a leg and a grafting a flag and arrangement. I'm back on target with the largest bombardment of assembly. Remember me as a melody and continue living till it's hell you see. I'll forever be an unstoppable prophet, philosopher, dodging obstacles to chronicles. Is what helps me to figure out my inner doubt and take the sinners out. Constantly nonchalantly wanting me to be a prophecy. Properly follow me into my sporadic attic. Crucial practice matters of a cactus as sharp as the previous. And leading is toward the worthy wicked wordplay. Whatever the side is her say. I'm hurting from the flirting of my nerves and verbs. Stabbing curves with enormous proportions. Of course, the toad one until my flow's done. No one should have to go through this pain. I gain separation from the nations. Inspiration, decolation on the wars in stores for landing in depression. But no one shows mercy when you show signs of oppression. So fuck the lessons that we're learning. I'm burning in flame. This game I hate to breathe the signs of a saint. I maintain a train of thought. I show no reason for the famous aimlessly making up the bizarre patterns of lies that disguise in children's eyes. Influenced by parents and government lies. Things I see reflect me and the integrity put into plenty melodies, especially the enemies. Injected remedies, fulfilling uplifting spirits, willing to be giving the benefit of relevance. And I apologize for the negligence that I have caused through the years and through the tears I learned to overcome my fears. I have been overrun, living reality through a question mark. I'm about to embark on possibilities never discovered. I'm clever undercovers. I step my brothers and wonder about a lover. I hover on top of others and smother. Is life leaking lovely liquids, living vivid, explicit pivot, the exquisite existence, permission if granted, a brandish arson to vanish. My presence and secrets are kept to the point of implosion. The courts for the votes are in, so stroke the notes and take the totes of the violence. Trying to use violence in my capacity, but contradictions keep attacking me.
I'm sorry, society, for doing what I did. Am I sounding too sarcastic? Have the masters lost their lids? I'm sorry, society, for doing what I did. Am I sounding too sarcastic? Have the masters lost their lids? I'm sorry, society, for doing what I did. Am I sounding too sarcastic? Have the masters lost their lids? Is it a felony of a certain kind that made you disagree? Was it a melody of an activist that made you finally see what it is, and never a proper investigation? Faulty precedents to get your favorite TV station. Put through the mental channels, blocking out the voice of all suggestions, slicing off the odds of all the scholars who ask questions. I still raise a hand even if it meant for me to lose it. The ignorance you're stricken with has caused me to prove it. Everyone deserves a chance to follow a certain path, but with all the choices excavated, no one's lives will last. Thumbs down, no one feels your initiative. No one wants to settle for the high amount of shit you give. Guess who made the mess and expects us to clean up after? The lights go dim and audience erupts in laughter. You created a state of mind, ironically nothing of your intention. The pieces have been scattered beyond the means of your collection. Correction, what the hell am I apologizing for what I did? In actuality, I've done nothing wrong, you're the one who let us down. I'm sorry, society, for doing what I did. Am I sounding too sarcastic? Have the masters lost their lids? I'm sorry, society, for doing what I did. Am I sounding too sarcastic? Have the masters lost their lids? I'm sorry, I'm not advertising for you. Always wasting my breath, always getting upset. So I step back and say it calmly. You bet you wouldn't lie to me, just like David on Lee. All the bullshit on your screen, you might just have to cut it clean. The war wobbles like ketamine, and that's why I'm peeing on the North American trees. Level as all, although looking towards different stages as others fall. The trees are tall, points advantage likely to be useful as the world watches, and timekeeping should not always be trusted as truthful. The righteous foreshadowing considered pessimistic or gifted, claiming a state of consciousness without having a need to become lifted. Substances are limited in use and almost oblivious, never taking a hold of the style of life, constructing my own city. It's the idiots that tempt us to cross over into worlds unknown with fears aside and caution present. I imagine it's heaven. Grades are scrawled upon imaginary paper with electrical signals or momentum, giving life to intelligent ideas that create the right incentive. Who sent them? The factory of opinions has its own method, stimulating the fading creativity with the world's ability. Environmental influence, surroundings that breathe the breath of simplicity, avoiding situations covered with clutter and explicitity. The mystery resides within the retina of walking strangers, and each step away from understanding poses a possible danger. It's the box, the bubble, trapped within the beliefs of masses, entwined beneath the outer layer, provided by the glasses, and glasses twinkle with anger, reciting messages left by others, stretching each occasion to the limits. The clouds begin to smother the depth of perception, truncated and vision and reality is blurred. This world is lost in touch, and each region or moment will not be spurred. Availability of resources depleted by greediness. Now the rest of the people live with a constant sense of neediness. There's far too much to take without needing an infinite amount of time, narrowing down a select few thieves compacted in a rhyme.
I was once a boy, and that was the last time I should stand. I used that boy, and that was the last time they took command. I was once a boy, and that was the last time I should stand. I used that boy, and that was the last time they took command.
I only look attractive rear-view mirrors of the new elastic handbrand made to expand on the human body. Welcome to the new world, where humans drink fuel to keep fully functioning, with a meter on our palm which tells us how our body parts are running. Cigarette smoke is a major source of cloud, since the first one's evaporate. Now the tobacco flavored rain is killing all the crops and electrocuting all the cops. Since the humans run were replaced by robots and the anarchy don't stop, it just continues through the alleyways and venues till they inject the poison in you, which triggers the mind control. 24-hour surveillance, keep their eyes on you everywhere you go. So don't be surprised if you feel like you're existing in a chokehold until you grow old and grow mold. Good luck surviving on your own in these times of dependencies and forceful trusting of the higher power. As days goes by, I'm forced to count the hours of my anticipated passing, but the technology keeps on lasting. Science churches will be built everywhere, worshipping the DNA structures. Baby born with no mother, an electric stimulus as a lover. Propaganda's our only savior with monitored behavior. Metal foods are the latest flavor. Reacting to situations with only conditions of motion, crushing the patience which once kept you in a state of devotion. So live your American dream and fuck all those who oppose. I see the future through closed doors.